Today I am going to demonstrate and show you some steps towards this mystery power of on. That's A-N, on. So sort of the opposite of Pong. Some of you want me to use the Chinese terminology, some of you don't. My mode is I really just want to make all of this accessible. So you can think of on as a downward release. That's my experience with it, my best description of it. So that means that when somebody's reaching and touching you, that you feel sort of this heaviness in your body and somehow magically you're transmitting it into the other person. And that makes them drop down to the ground. And it's a little elusive because you don't actually have too much of a feedback loop for that. Like when I go into Pong, which is a sort of a floating feeling, I feel my own body become buoyant and Pongish. And then that way when I deliver it, it lifts the person up. And keep in mind, he's taller. If it was somebody my own height, they probably would have bounced off the ground a little bit. But on is different. And in that when you drop the person, it almost seems magical. Like I don't feel it. So I'm like, oh, wow, are you really dropping? Because I did this. So I would say then it's more through intention than sensation. Whereas Pong is both. I think buoyant, I fill myself with buoyancy, and I transmit the buoyancy to the person. Let's take this step by step. We'll just use a ward-off posture. So if I'm in ward-off and he grabs me and tries to push me, the first thing I need to not do is be rigid, because you see, as long as I'm rigid, then it's not going to be effective. So if I get in my posture and he's doing this, the first thing I have to do is soften and release. So you kind of see how now he's a little bit buoyant himself, he's a little bouncy, because I'm not tense. So it's a release. And where am I releasing? Well, I'm just releasing my muscles and I'm releasing where he's touching me. It's like, let go for a second. It's like the points of contact become a sponge and I transfer it somewhere else. So he contacts, and if I'm rigid, there's no sponge, no absorption. But I absorb where he's touching me and I can take it to the inside of my skin. What did you feel? What's the difference of what you felt?
Instead of pushing you back, it's just, your forearm and hand. I'm just essentially just bringing it closer to your bicep, and that's essentially it.
Okay.
Not really doing anything.
Do you feel a difference in my force when that happens?
Oh, I mean...
or my pressure?
I mean, I'm not moving you. It's, there really isn't any pressure from you.
Ah, that's the key. I didn't prompt him to say that. That's perfect. Right,
well,
exactly.
You were asking me, I was thinking, well, there isn't really any.
Okay, I wonder what the confusion was there. That's right. So you have that right. Go ahead and do it again. It is that not only are you not going back, but they lose sight of where you're coming from. They lose sight of your pressure. You become pressureless. So if I'm here and go ahead and, well, hold on, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So the other thing is I have to be in the state of song, by the way. If I'm not in the state of song or I'm behind, then I will collapse. So I have to be in state of song. See, now I'm in song. And I feel a little crowded here, so I'm just going to back up a little bit. There's no harm or no reason to not back up. We want space. So if you're behind a curve and the person has collapsed you, go ahead and back up and create a little space. Keep the softness at the contact point. Or if I want to release my weight down and then just drop. Now, some of you are like, well, she's just lowering her arm. Well, let's try that. Let's go again. So if I'm resistive, and I try to lower my arm, it doesn't work. I have to tell you that I'm surprised too. It's just delightful when it works. Okay, so let's look at this step by step. You get with your partner. You have to be in the state of song before they touch you. Don't try to get in song afterwards. Then soften the contact point here. In other words, that's the sponge receiving. And then when you receive, you got to send it somewhere. So I'm sending it just to the inside of the skin here and maybe around to my back. Now I'm feeling a little crowded, so I am going to back up a little bit. Then I stay in song, but it's like pouring water down my body. You feel that? And he's already starting to compress. And then once I've poured it down, I can just pour it down to his feet. Golly, it's just so cool.
I almost fell over with that one.
Yeah.
I had to hop and catch myself.
I saw that. It is really, it's always surprising because I don't feel much. Like I'm not, pressing into you. I'm not even compressing your joints, which some Tai Chi practitioners are, talking about, that you compress the joints. I'm just like envisioning a water vase, and I first release and pour the water vase all the way, the water down into my vase or my vessel. And then I just somehow, through my mind, it's like I'm filling him with that as well. And then I just release. I don't push. I'm going to put your arms out like this. If I try to push, it's not going to work. So I feel heavy. I'm just like kind of giving it all over, and I pour the heaviness into him. Yeah. But remember that you need to be in the state of song. If I try to transmit heaviness and I'm collapsed, what do you feel there?
Not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot. And so I'm thinking, I am heavy, but I'm collapsed. It doesn't work. And so you have to stay, like the vessel has to be open. And so then when you begin to do your heaviness and transmit it into the person, it's almost like a springboard, like a spring kind of, in a way, boom, into the person. That's what it felt like just then. Mm-hmm. So you must remain in the state of song. You have to be released, your muscles released, because if I'll try to partition this out. If I'm in the state of song, but my muscles aren't released, and I try to transmit the heaviness, what do you feel?
Not a whole lot.
And what's interesting now is because I taught him song, he's starting to go into song. Now, if that happens, if you have a partner that's really good at getting into song, you may not have as much result. So it's sort of the race to the person that's in the song, the quickest and the most. So if you're wanting to train, please ask your partner not to be in the state of song. Okay.
I didn't do it on purpose.
No, I know you didn't. No, I'm proud of you. But I have to be in song, and then my muscles have to be released. See? Any tension I carry is not going to be effective. And then when I pour into my body and then pour into his body. Yeah. It's so cool.
I like that one.
I do too. Yeah. So that's the quality of on. Release, absorb the point of contact, keep your space, and release your body weight, and then just pour it in to the other person. So see how that goes. Give me some comments. Let me know how it goes. And I sure appreciate all of you watching and supporting me. And really, if you all like my videos, it's always a nice help if you'll give me a small contribution. I have a link down there for buy me a cup of coffee. Every little bit helps and keeps me inspired and also supports me financially. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next video.